Welcome back to Worthington Model Railway. So today I am going to do some more work on the landscaping, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm going to do, and then we'll slowly add some videos as I work through it. So in my last video I talked a little bit about some of the landscaping I wanted to do in this area over here, and part of that is that I want to put in a sort of stream, and I want to put in a waterfall. And I saw on another YouTube video somebody was using I don't know what you call this in the UK these days, but cling film. We call it saran wrap just because that's the name on it, is saran, and using this to create the river waterfall effect. So I'm going to try that and see if it works. I also am going to build a small footbridge. I'm probably not going to show you me putting this together. It's just basically a case of cutting out the bits of wood and gluing them. So that would be not going to film that. But we'll have a look and see just exactly what I'm going to do and where I'm going to do stuff. So basically I'm going to concentrate in this area here. I want to put some rocks in and some static grass. I want to put some shrubs along here that kind of hide that join along the crest there. Obviously the static grass is done on this side, but it's not done here. I also want to put some rocks in along this area here. And then as I said, we're going to have a little sort of river stream comes down here. There'll be a river comes along here, and right here is where I want to put the waterfall in. So if I've got to sort of map this out, but the first thing I really need to do is finish this area here and put some static grass and other stuff on here. So that's my #1 job to get started. And you'll probably notice that I did complete the little footbridge. It's currently sitting there. That's kind of where it's going to go. So we'll put a little trail or something along from there at some point. So there we have the first pass on putting that clump foliage along the ridge there. Obviously a lot of white glue needs to dry, and probably going to be a few holes and things that I need to come up and patch later. Let's take a closer look at it. You see I used a mixture of 2 different colors, and pipetted a mix of white glue water and washing up liquid dish soap to make it stay. So we'll let that dry and see what we're done at the end of that. Okay. So as I move toward putting a stream in here, I had to sort of cut this cliff off a little bit so that the water would be going downhill, not uphill. So I got to put a little bit of filler in here so I have an edge nicely for the water to come over there. So as you see, I did the plastic cloth so the water will come over, and just put a little bit of paint on there. I know you've seen me cast these rocks in molds before. These have been painted, and they're sitting in a box with some others that are painted. I do have a whole pile of unpainted ones too. So I'm going to reuse some of the ones I have. I think I have enough here to do what I want to do for the moment. So we'll get these in place. So you get some glue out. I found in the past that the best thing to do to glue those rocks up is to use this liquid nails, all-purpose adhesive. I mean, what do they call it? It works best on wood, wall tile and concrete, so it works well on plaster too. So that's what I'm going to use. And there's my rock face in place. I need to let this dry now, probably overnight, and then we'll touch up some of the rocks and the pieces where the glue is showing. So while I was waiting for paint to dry in another area of the layout, I finally got the Langley Models boulders in place. So here they go. I think they look quite good. And the nice thing about the kit is it includes the bowls and the people. So you can put together an interesting scene. Let's zoom in on the boulders there. There we go. So the idea with the cling film is that you basically just cut off a small strip, something like this, and then you kind of fold it up a little bit, and you lay it on top of the river that you've painted, or the stream, and gives you a watery effect. So I'm going to try this and see. Don't know how it's going to work because I've never done it before, but it looks like it's an interesting idea. So nowhere near finished yet, but I put some rocks in and I used the cling film, and I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I think I need to do a little bit more work to it. I'm going to let all this stuff dry up, and then we'll add some more foliage and what have you. I need to put a little bridge there for the train tracks to go over, and I need some more rocks, but I need smaller rocks to go along this area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my rock molds, but I'm going to only put a little bit of plaster of Paris in the bottom of them, so I can end up with something that's sort of more this sort of size, and so we can put those along the edge here. So I'm going to get some wooden cocktail sticks and make a little bridge to go in here. So I have these called skinny sticks. Pick them up at a craft show or a craft store somewhere, but they're great to use for sort of like planks of wood and to make things like little bridges out of. So that's what I'm going to use to make a little bridge. And there's my little bridge I made. Zoom in a little bit. I think that works pretty well. So here we are the next day, and I am not totally convinced about the cling film water effects. I maybe see what I want to do with this, if it's going to stay or if I'm going to change it. Obviously need to do, a fair bit more landscaping here. I will post another video as I start to finish this and do some more landscaping across the rest of this area. So next thing I'm going to do here is started to kind of just weather these stones a little bit and put in some additional colors. I get some acrylic paints out. I just put little bits in there, and just using some water and making a wash, I'm going to go down and just run over these with a little orange, yellow, blue, mix it together, and we'll end up with something that looks more like these rocks do than these really heavy gray ones back here. There's those rocks weathered a bit. Let me zoom in a little bit. So now I'm going to turn my attention to over here. I want to put in some, I'm going to say roads. They're going to be more, gravel roads, and a parking lot over by the pub, and then we'll get some static grass over in different areas once I get that mapped out. So I'm kind of going to map out what I'm going to do, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do, and then I'll start putting the gravel areas in. So now you can see I've got my my roads, parking lot, and what have you mapped out. I'm going to put some gravel on them in a little while. Put some white glue down and put some gravel on the path. Have the path going all the way over to the river over there and up to the little bridge. I got one area here that I can't quite decide what to do with. I kind of was planning to run that road up to the top there, but this area here where I put plaster in is a little rough for even a gravel road. But so I might have to cut that down a bit. We'll see as I work through it. So let me keep going here. A little while ago I was in my local hobby shop, and I saw this stuff, Smooth It, from Woodland Scenics, and it sort of says it's for making roads. Once I opened it though, I felt like I got ripped off, because it's really just a very expensive carton of plaster of Paris, and I mean, maybe it might be a little less coarse than some plaster of Paris, I don't know. But anyway, just thought to myself, this might be the perfect thing I need to smooth out that area and put the road in, so I'm going to give it a try. As you see, when it's mixed up, it really just looks like plaster of Paris. I don't know, we'll try it, see. So I think it's going to work for my rough path. We'll let it dry. The instructions say you should kind of sand it down a little bit, so maybe I'll do that too when it's done, and we'll see what we have left, but that might solve that problem. I'm going to call it a day on this video. I think there's enough in here. I'll do a part 2 and maybe a part 3 as I keep going with this area. It's going to take a little while to get everything done that I want to get done. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Another video to the top left, and you can subscribe to the top right. Thanks for watching.